The Gamblers Ruin Project MLS League Matchday, 10 May 2025 Match Predictions and Analysis. The Gamblers Ruin Project, where the odds get cracked.
Hello and welcome back to the Gamblers Ruin Project. I'm Anna, joined by Kateryna and Dominic. We've got an exciting MLS Doubleheader preview powered by SmartBet AI. Today we break down Chicago Fire versus Atlanta United and Toronto FC versus DC United. Each match will feature AI-powered models, tactical context, injury updates and smart betting strategies. Alright folks, let's kick things off in the Windy City. We've got Chicago Fire hosting Atlanta United at Soldier Field with kickoff at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, May 10th. And let me just say, it's shaping up to be unpredictable.
Yeah, Soldier Field will be breezy. We're looking at 65 degrees Fahrenheit, partly sunny, winds at 12 miles per hour from the east-northeast, with gusts pushing 36 miles per hour. Add in 62% cloud cover, and it's not exactly tiki-taka weather.
Perfect conditions for chaos. Long balls are going to hang, goalkeepers will hate it, and if anyone's wearing hair gel, well, good luck.
Let's talk absentees. Chicago will be missing their starting keeper Chris Brady, out via red card suspension. That's a huge blow. Add in Chris Muller, personal leave, and Chase Gasper, lower leg, and it's a thin lineup.
And Atlanta, they're coming in fully healthy. No injuries on the report. That's a luxury in May.
Okay, Kat, break down what our models are seeing.
Poisson Regression gives Atlanta the edge in expected goals, with 1.25 expected goals, while Chicago is projected at 1.04. But what's key here is the confidence intervals. Chicago's range is 0 to 3, while Atlanta has a wider 0 to 4.
So Atlanta's ceiling is higher, which aligns with their explosive attacking style. But Poisson doesn't know Brady's on suspension.
Exactly. That absence could inflate Atlanta's actual threat. But keep in mind, Poisson is goal-focused, not win-loss.
Now here's where it gets weird. Despite the expected goals edge for Atlanta, Random Forest favors Chicago for the win. That model's likely picking up on home field intensity, crowd influence, and maybe Atlanta's inconsistency on the road.
That's now 3 machine learning models siding with the Fire. And the MLP model especially values form trends and player-level inputs, so it may be factoring in Atlanta's patchy defensive transitions.
So let me get this straight. Poisson says Atlanta will score more, but every classification model says Chicago wins?
Classic soccer paradox. It's not always who scores more. Sometimes it's who messes up less.
Our Ensemble approach combines all those models into one consensus, and it gives the nod to Chicago too. But it's not a blowout prediction. It's like picking heads in a coin flip and calling it confidently.
Let's go probabilistic now. Monte Carlo simulations ran 10,000 virtual versions of this game. Here's what came out. Chicago, win 41%, draw 27.9%. Atlanta, win 31.1%. Most probable scoreline 1-1, 12.7%, 0-1, 13.3%, 1-0, 10.7%.
So if you're looking at betting angles, draw is very live here, and 1-1 shows up in almost 13% of simulations. That's strong.
This is a classic case of model conflict. Poisson leans Atlanta, but every win-loss model says Chicago. Monte Carlo says, maybe neither. We could absolutely be looking at a gritty 1-1 with weather playing spoiler.
And don't sleep on how much the wind gusts matter. You try fielding a lofted cross when the ball's spinning sideways at 35 miles per hour.
Honestly, the safest winner here might just be the betting markets.
Betting strategy, best bet. Both teams to score, BTTS, yes. Oh, neither side is keeping a clean sheet with this setup and the weather. Alternative bet, draw or double chance. Chicago draw, oh. Given how split the models are, hedging is smart. Avoid, over 2.5 goals, oh. With gusts and a backup keeper in play, game flow may slow after an early goal. Correct score prediction, 1. That's a wrap on our first match prediction, Chicago Fire versus Atlanta United. When we come back, we head north to BMO Field where Toronto hosts DC United. And this one might be even tighter. Stick around.
All right, let's head up north to Toronto, where TFC will host DC United at BMO Field in our second feature match this Saturday. Kickoff is at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and this one's close.
Weather's a dream for football. 65 degrees, partly sunny, barely a breeze at 5 miles per hour, and only a 1% chance of rain. So unlike Chicago's swirling chaos, this match might actually look like modern football.
Yeah, no wind to blame when your winger shanks a cross into Lake Ontario. Ideal setup for possession play and tactical chess.
Not too many injury headaches this time, but Toronto will miss Richie Laryea, muscle issue. He's only featured twice this season, but provides real pace and width when available.
And DC United will be without Jackson Hopkins, young forward, ankle knock. Less impact, but it does reduce their bench flexibility.
So Kat, what's our AI telling us this time?
This is about as tight as it gets. Poisson projects 1.21 goals for Toronto, 1.24 for DC United, essentially even. And the confidence intervals for both are 0 to 4, meaning the variance is all over the place.
Translation. This game could end 0-0, 4-3 or anything in between. But realistically, with these XG profiles, we're leaning toward 1 or 2 goals each, unless someone has a meltdown.
And again, Poisson focuses on goal likelihood, not match outcomes. So it's not saying who wins, just what we might see in terms of scoring output.
Okay, now this is a rare thing. We've got unanimity across all 3 base models. All of them say DC edges this.
That's right. And it makes sense when you look at Toronto's midfield vulnerability, especially without Laryea helping track back. DC United loves hitting on the counter, and if they win the ball high, that Toronto backline is in real danger.
Plus, the models are reacting to form data. Toronto's been inconsistent, especially in build-up under pressure. DC is just more stable in transition.
And the Ensemble model agrees. DC United gets the nod again. That's now 4 separate models, all favouring the visitors, which is not what the market's saying right now.
Exactly. And that's where this becomes actionable. Public perception leans Toronto, but the data says DC has the edge, however small.
Let's talk probabilities. SmartBet AI simulated this match 10,000 times based on the Poisson predicted goals. Here's the result. Distribution: Toronto, win 35.7%, draw 27.6%, DC United win 36.6%.
So, it's basically a coin toss with a DC crest on one side and a maple leaf on the other.
Yeah, we've got a statistical deadlock, but DC comes out just ahead by less than 1%. Top score lines.
Most likely 1-1, 12.95%, 0-1 for DC, 10.78%, and 1-0 Toronto, 10.12%. Again, razor thin. Every model we have, Random Forest, XGBoost, MLP Neural Net, Ensemble, all lean DC United, but only slightly. The key advantage lies in ELO rating, tactical stability, and Toronto's limited width without Laryea.
And if this was a poker hand, I'd call it a small raise, not an all-in. This is still anyone's game, but DC has the sharper edge, especially if they keep it compact and let Benteke bully in the box late.
So, in terms of smart betting, don't go chasing full-time outcomes in a match like this. Look for flexibility and coverage.
Based on our projections, betting strategy, best bet, double chance, DC United or draw O, safe way to ride the model consensus without overcommitting. Correct score predictions, 1-1 or 0-1-0 backed by both simulation and historical style of play. BTTs, yes, both teams are leaky enough to allow a goal. Avoid full-time result bets, the variance is too high for a straight win bet unless you've got nerves of steel. And that wraps our Toronto versus DC breakdown. Every model says DC, the scorelines say maybe not, and the weather says, bring sunglasses. What more can you ask for?
Unless it ends 0-0, in which case we're blaming Poisson.
Or you, Dom. You jinxed the weather last time, remember?
All right, don't go anywhere. We've got wrap-up thoughts and bankroll management tips coming right up. All right, team, before we close out today's show, let's sum things up. 2 tight matches, a lot of model disagreement in one, and full consensus in the other.
Exactly. This week is a textbook case of why you don't bet based on just one model or a gut feeling. In Chicago versus Atlanta, the models lean towards a home win despite Poisson favoring Atlanta's attacking numbers. In Toronto versus DC United, everything leaned DC, but just barely.
It's what we call a statistical coin toss. Both games have variance written all over them, and this is where stacked ensemble models shine. They smooth out the noise and help you find those hidden edges the market might miss.
And those edges, they're small, but they add up if you manage your bankroll smartly.
Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. You're not going to double your bankroll on these picks. Small edges equal small bets. If you're betting more than 2% of your bankroll on a match this close, you're not following a long-term strategy. You're gambling.
Translation: don't bet like a maniac because one model gave your team a thumbs up. The AI gives you structure, but it's not a magic wand.
Unless the wand also measures XG, win speed, and coaching substitutions, then maybe.
Coming soon, the sorting hat but for soccer betting. You've been assigned under 2.5 goals.
All right, enough wizardry. That wraps it for this week on the Gambler's Ruin Project. Remember, we give you the data, the trends, and the simulations. But you make the final call. Like, subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a drop of AI-powered insight. And hey, drop your predictions in the comments. Do you see DC stealing it on the road? Can Chicago take advantage of Atlanta's inconsistency?
And if you win big, thank the models. If you lose, it was obviously Kateryna's fault.
Excuse me? I'll remember that next time your clean sheet bet goes up in flames. All as Anna, Dominic, Kateryna. See you next week. Stay sharp, bet smart, and enjoy the matches.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Gambler's Ruin Project. Remember, our content is for informational purposes only, and all predictions are AI generated. Gambling can be addictive, so please bet responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help with gambling addiction, here are resources that can provide support. North America. Contact the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700, available 24/7 for confidential help. UK. Reach out to BeGambleAware at 08088020133 or visit begambleaware.org for information and support. Bet smart, bet safe, and as always, remember to keep things fun and balanced. We'll see you next week for more insights. Thanks for joining us, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more AI-driven insights and pro betting tips each week. See you next time. Disclaimer: this content is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The predictions and insights provided by the Gambler's Ruin Project, powered by SmartBet AI technology, are generated using statistical models and historical data. These predictions do not guarantee outcomes and should not be considered financial or betting advice. Gambling can be addictive. Please bet responsibly and only wager what you can afford to lose. If you or someone you know is struggling with gambling addiction, seek help from professional support services. Legal notice: this content does not constitute an offer to participate in gambling. The Gambler's Ruin Project does not operate as a bookmaker or betting service and does not encourage gambling. All users are responsible for complying with local laws and regulations regarding sports betting and gambling-related content in their respective jurisdictions. The Gambler's Ruin Project, where the odds get cracked, where the odds get